Hi, we're back. Assemblage, Journal Collection number 3, part 2. Still working on the cover. We're going to kind of backtrack and then go forward again. What more would you expect from me? So when I left you on the last video, you had your piece of your cover with your pockets in it, Mod Podged together, and your pockets in and stitched, and and had you done the cover yet? I don't even remember. I don't remember because I've rearranged my desk 6 times since then. Hang on, let me go look at the video. Hang on, because we're gonna do it backwards this time. See, backwards. No, we're not gonna do it backwards. I need to see exactly where we ended. Okay, so we had put the pockets in, stitched around the edge, put a coat of Mod Podge over the cover so it looked like this, and under a book to dry. Okay. So pretend that that's done, right? Pretend your pockets are in here, it's dry, and now you're going to score it. Well, this cover is for Amber, and so I thought, well, I may as well just make a video, excuse me, of how to score it. And I think on the other test cover that I was using in video 1, which I don't even see right now. Surprise! Can't find it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So on this one, on this test cover that we were working on, the extra inch was here. Okay? But that's not where we want it. Is it? I can't remember what I'm doing. No. We want it over here. So, let's see. Find the top. That's the top. There. Okay. So this is what your insides are going to look like. Right? Right. You see on this one, I did it backwards. That stitch is there. That's not what we want. You want your stitch to end up being over here on the flap, not over here on the cover. You can faintly see the score line. So see, this is going to be the front, and then this is going to be the flap. Right? Right. All right, off we go. So, there is already a score line at 5 inches where I originally scored your page. Okay? Great. So that's where we're going to start. And it doesn't matter if you do this before you seal the outside or after. Either way. Oh, and another trick I wanted to show you guys. That I have messy stitching over here. Anyway, here you can see the little white dots. If you take your regular ink and run it over it, the white dots disappear. Just gently. You don't want to get a whole bunch of ink down, but just enough to cover up the white dots. Okay, back to this. Squirrel. So I'm going to score to 5. And then 5 1/4. And then 5 1/2. And then I'm only going to fold it on the 2 outside. I'm not going to fold the inside score line. Okay. So it's going to give me a 1/2 inch spine. All right. So to the and to the. So now, just say for conversation's sake, I have my 2 signatures ready, and I slide them in there. You see how nice they fit? Even though they just peek out a little bit, I'm fine with that because, and this is what I suggest, do not score this until you've got your signatures ready so you can see where they sit. I like that these peek out. If you have yours set back, that's fine. But because these peek out a little bit, I know I'm going to need a little bit more room for this fold to start. So I'm just going to go one tick mark out from where those page edges are. Maybe. Let me get them out of the way now so I can make this straight. And you can just make a little mark and then get them out of your way. Alright, so I'm going to go like that. And then I'm going to fold it. I'm going to go ahead and crease that little guy. And I'm going to set my signatures back in. And again, it doesn't matter if you sealed the cover or not. And I'm going to put my signatures in and just kind of look and see if I wanted that to be comfortable and not smash, but just comfortable. So I'm just going to make a little pencil mark up here at where that would be. See where I did that? Out of my way. Get everybody flat again. Then I'm going to bring my bone folder over here and see where that mark is. And I think I'm going to go this. You really got to give it some pressure. You're going through 2 pieces of paper. And now maybe I can fold it on the screen. Easier said than done. And now I've got that stitch right in the middle. And that's right where I want it to be. Be patient when you're doing this. Because, you know, like I say, you're dealing with 2 thicknesses of paper and glue. So now, if I've got my closure on there, you see how everything's just nice and nice. This is a little bit thinner than the spine. We say the spine was 1/2 inch. Yep. And this ended up being 1 tick shy of 1/2 inch. And that's what I wanted to give it a nice fit. If you do this and then it won't close and you're like, uh-oh. If your papers aren't sticking out, you can go ahead and just trim your edge if you haven't stitched it yet. Hint, hint. That's why I'm retracting and saying, wait, don't stitch the outside edge. But if you've already watched video 1 and I can't and don't know how to edit, you guys probably would ready to scream at me right now. Anyway, moving on. Voila. Maybe I'll put a note on that video. Watch video 2 before you start video 1. Alright, so there that is. Like that. Voila. Now, when I've got the scoreboard out, I'm going to use the elastic, like on this one. And so since I've got the scoreboard here, and this is 8.5 inches, I'm going to go to 4 1/4. I'm just going to make a little pencil mark. Did it work? Yes. Yay, me. So I know where I want the elastic to go. And I'm going to go ahead and punch that hole. Chomper, you can just use an awl if you want to, but I'm going to put an eyelet in there. It might be a little tricky getting it. Oh, it went through the fabric just fine. All right, I'm not going to put my eyelet in yet because I'm going to seal it, right? So now is when I would go ahead and either stitch it, then seal it, or seal it, then stitch it, whichever you're more comfortable with. All right, and see how this seam ends up right where I wanted it this time. And voila. If you decide, there was a couple of kits I think I forgot to put the little circles in. And sorry for my inky fingers. If you decide that you wanted to do this kind of closure, this is where you would go ahead and glue your 2 little circles together, ink them up, with whatever ink you put on the cover. Use the eyelet and attach it to your flap. And then, you know, your string just wraps around. Come on. and around you go. And you've got your little charm, or if you decide to put it on there. Ta-da. Oh, I need to scoot up. And my camera's crooked. Ah. Okay, so. Dum-dum-dum. What next? I'm a nervous wreck. Alright, so I included a strip of 4 journal words and 4 note words in 4 different fonts in your book plate. So if I had this sealed, now is the time that I would grab a couple of brads. This is like threading a needle live. And here's how I do mine. I put one side down first, put the other side halfway down, then just use my fingernail or something, or the awl, and push it and smash it. So you don't have to shorten it, you just put it on there, kind of out of the way. And once this cover is sealed, I will just use some Fabri-Tac to glue this down. If you want to punch these through the cover, you can. Just know that you're going to have the brad sticking through, the inside of your cover. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. I'm fiddling. See, and I just smash it with the end of my awl, and it gets it in there straight. And then I just put some Fabri-Tac here, a dot here and here. Put it on there, mash it with my fingers for a few seconds, and then voila, it will stick. But in the next video, I will stick this down, and I will put the eyelet in, and then I'll talk about your signatures. All right, so this is just a quick more of the cover part 2. I wanted to get this up today with part 1, so hopefully you guys can watch them both and decide which way is easier for you. Okay, and again, please leave me comments. Let me know if there's a better way for me to do this, or if I'm doing terrible. You guys can tell me I'm doing terrible. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. There. All right. Ooh, look at that. 13 minutes. Bye, guys. See you in part 3.